Afternoon. I'm glad everyone could be here. Thanks for showing up. And welcome to the Coinbase Community Spotlight event. Kanan Severin here. I'm an engagement manager here at Coinbase. Thanks everyone for joining. Glad to have you tuned in. Also, everyone drop in the chat where you're from. I see a few new faces, few new profiles, some people that haven't been to our office hours or other product-driven events. So drop in where you're from. We got people all over the world using our products, so we want to see where you're at, where you're located. And the next thing I'll say is super excited for this opportunity. This is gonna be a great call, great event. It's always just a good opportunity just to chat with developers, builders, and people that are engaging with our events, whether it's office hours or when we bring in here at Coinbase our product or engineering managers to talk about certain products, such as our staking API or our advanced API product or our Coinbase on-ramp products. But now today, we want to give you guys the spotlight, give visibility on what you are building, how you're using our products. And this is the first time we've highlighted someone directly from our Discord community to showcase what they're building. So, super exciting times. If you want to be highlighted with your product and what you're building, Carrie is going to drop a form for you to fill out. So take a look if you're interested, and yeah, just let us know if you have any questions. Let's see. We got people in Seattle, people in Missouri, South Alabama. I like it. I like it. From Midwest to the South to out West. We got people all over. It's good stuff. Next, let's see. Next here. So we have a great presenter here for you guys today. Telly Well, Kansas City, Missouri. I like it. Go Chiefs. Next, we have a great presenter here today, someone that's been super active in our community. Someone's been active in the Discord, have shown up to events, asked questions, actually have been up on stage on different events that we've held. So someone that's just really just helping us drive engagement and really being impactful to everyone here in the Discord. So super excited for him to share their experience using our products, and this is their overall building journey. So with that being said, Terin, I'll pass it over to you, my friend.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it. I think these like forums or channels are so important to help like grow a business, work with other developers or ideate on like how to solve things. So I'm happy to support, CDP and everything y'all are creating for us. So I appreciate it.
Absolutely, absolutely, man. Glad to have you on. Glad we can make this happen. Like I said, you're the first of this kind to really have the community spotlight on you. So I'm excited. So
Oh God, the guinea pig.
yeah, yeah, but great. Hey, a great person for a test run. Let me tell you, you're gonna crush it. You're gonna crush it. Now, today, just giving a little bit overview agenda of what Taryn will be going over. So he's going to share a demo of the product, how it works, how our CDP Smart Wallet product is helping power certain features in their app. And then we'll be also just tracking questions that come up in the chat box. So if you have any questions, definitely feel free to ask anything for Taryn, anything about the product. Definitely, please don't be shy. Just keep the questions relevant to the topic and be respectful, and we'll be all good, ready to go from there. And this session is also going to be recorded and be available later on the Coinbase YouTube channel. So if there's anything that comes up, you better listen back to it, and we'll make sure to also post the recording in the Discord as well. But with all that being said, yeah, Taryn, would love to go through the demo and have you just show the people what you've been working on and yeah, talk through it. And then after that, we'll get to a couple questions. Got a couple questions for Taryn just to give us more overview and just understanding of what he's building out.
Yeah,
Taryn?
thank you. I can start sharing my screen whenever you're ready to pass it along.
Okay, stop streaming now. Go ahead.
Yeah. All right, so thank you all for showing up today. It's awesome to do this demo for you all and really showcase what we've been building on our side. It's been quite a while for what we've been developing this. So we started about a year ago with MVP, which was just the ability to trade ERC 721s, and now we're at the point where we're building on base. We're allowing ERC20, 721, 1155s to be traded in any capacity up to 20 assets at once. And this is really just kind of the beginning of what we want to create whenever we're thinking about what peer-to-peer type transactions are going to look like in the future using blockchain technology. So our business, what we're creating, me and a team of 5 people total, is called SwapUp. And SwapUp is a peer-to-peer technology company just creating anything peer-to-peer transaction based that you could think of. So currently we're looking at ERC20, 721, 1155s that can be traded peer-to-peer in a smart contract-based agreement. But then in the future, you could think of anything, whether it be in real life items, personal bets between each other, and even loans. You could start thinking of what you could be doing peer-to-peer. There's some great communities out there in the world that are already kind of using it from a trustless perspective, not blockchain technology, but are giving loans out to individuals. I would love to bring a lot of that technology that people are doing without like a secure way to do it into the blockchain world and really put it at the forefront for everybody. So hopefully y'all are seeing my screen now.
Yep, we can see it.
And so this is, home site. This is a test site that we're working on. We are, again, a year into this. So we did MVP last year about May, and then this year we revamped everything and really started with the Coinbase Build-a-thon, the on-chain summer Build-a-thon, and really have been working towards that. That jump-started everything, and now we're in other Build-a-thons. So if you all are developing out there, you should probably recognize that there's tons of build-a-thons that you could be a part of and hopefully get some portion of the prize money if you're developing what they actually like for what they're trying to promote. So our asset or our decentralized application is really just a marketplace for all these things to happen. We're still changing maybe some UI things, but the process is really set forth in what we're trying to create here. You can see that this is the home page. I'm already logged in because of historical preferences that have been saved in here. So you're immediately taken to the swap market where you can see open market swaps. So it's someone who's just put a listing out there. And then you can also see your private party trades. So if I've created a trade with someone else and it's just between me and another person, that's a private party trade and we're just negotiating one-on-one. So in one instance, you can see any items that are open in the market and put an offer on them if you'd like. So we also have a couple other tabs up here seeing my swaps. You can see the items that are in flight, whether they're pending or they're historically completed. And then for the profile, probably where a lot of the magic is going to happen when we start building out more of this, it's your actually profile, your wallet overview, the collections you own, a bunch of good information here. Then eventually we'll have our profile management, which is a subdomain. People can be minting their subdomain and get some features that way. And hopefully I have a good, nice reward for everybody that's involved today relative to subdomains. So this assets page was all your NFTs. And then when we're creating a point system as well for people to be able to gather points and trade them in for free trades and stuff like that. So the way it works is pretty simple and straightforward. So what you want to do, I'm just going to show a private party trade because that's the best way to show what that process actually looks like. You need to have a wallet address of someone that you're wanting to trade with. So you could probably see, let me cancel this, that I'm already logged in with the Coinbase wallet. And I use the Smart Wallet, which is something that's very easy to set up. One of the things we have to merge is if someone creates a Smart Wallet, how do I get them immediately into trading? Because they would have to have funded it and they would have to put some money on there and then create the trade, stuff like that. So that's one of the processes that we are looking to improve, and probably through Paymaster and things like that, which will be really creating a full solution relative to these trades. But private party, so I put in my counterparty's address, I create the room, I can see the assets in which I want to trade. So let's kind of make the simplest use case NFT for NFT. again, you can do up to 20. So if I wanted to do 20 NFTs for one, let's say you're trading a bunch of um, lesser expensive items for like a Bored Ape, then you can trade 20 items for that one. But then once you come in here and select the offers, the assets that you want to create, you can add cryptocurrency if you want. We're going to have this connected to the specific blockchain, but you can add 12 Ethereum for all those, however you really want to manage this trade. Or you can even request cryptocurrencies. So let's say you're on the higher end of the trade, you're trading the Bored Ape for like 5 NFTs and crypto. You can send that to someone and say, hey, this is the offer that I'd like to receive. Simplest use case is NFTs, though. So when we complete that, you have a bunch of different options here, or this is really a summary. But a few of the things that we like to highlight are, the ability to reduce the fees if you ever wanted to. Minting a subdomain is kind of our membership into it. Kind of really creates a lot of cool, unique use cases for us. One, we can reduce the swap up fees on our platform because we can tie it back to a contract that is created through these subdomains. It allows us now to be multi-chain for our users. So if we wanted to, and we're going to, once we get all the code sorted and everything's running smoothly, launch on base mainnet, then we'll open it up to Ethereum, Optimism, Polygon, and some other ones once we get a core code base. So you can then, if you tie those chains wallets to your subdomain name, so if you write the record of your wallet address, then you can then get points or rewards or less fees on those other chains as well, as long as you're using that wallet which is connected to your subdomain. So it's opening up some really cool features and functionality for us to be able to open up value across chain. And then every time you do a trade or create a trade or some type of output that helps the company grow, you earn points. So these now, if you have a subdomain, you can earn points across all the different networks, everywhere you're creating trades on. And I think we just created or finished the Mint subdomain, but it's not in the code yet in the front end. So I can't show that yet, but coming soon to swap up near you. Um, so if I proceed here, basically where it's going to kick off is now the agreement. Since I'm using the smart wallet, I think it's all set up through uh, this scanning the face technology, or scan the passkey, and then you sign in. So I'm using my wallet to sign in. I need my Face ID to continue. And this is executing that trade or actually promoting it to that person, E48A, for them to receive and then answer. So once this is done, you see like the trade either goes through or doesn't. I guess in this instance, we may have had an error on our end. But then the trade would then be on the E48A and their ability to then answer the trade. So then we go back and we would see in my swap ups, the one that's created, some of the pending trades that are out there, and what you've agreed to. So let's now switch to a different wallet. This is one of the interesting parts of how you disconnect and connect the smart wallet. Kind of really got to wait for this to pop up. And then let me just try to disconnect, and we might just do a trade on that other one. Show you from an open market perspective what that actually looks like. Okay. So then in order to sign out from a smart wallet, you actually need to sign out here and then retry to connect again. Since it's all a smart wallet, again, I'm going to be scanning my face to get in here. I do like how this like seamlessly connects, and you can just easily use your phone to connect the wallet to the different applications. Um, so it's one of the cool things about this smart wallet. Let's see. So let's see if I have open swaps. If I wanted to go in and accept the offer, I could just easily push it there to accept the offer. There we go. And then this should execute the agreement. So there's a couple different processes that we've created here. One is the option for an open market. One is the other for a private party. Um, once these deals execute, then the assets are traded and they go across. I think we're having a bit of a blockchain error, but what we see is that now we have an executed agreement. So we have a summary here that shows all the fees that were paid and the assets that were completed across chain. We even have an Etherscan link so you can see exactly what happened here and the NFTs that we're swapping across board, across chain. And so the cool thing about this is like you can do NFTs for NFTs, but you can also do ERC20 in any capacity. So if there's a meme coin like Pepe out there you want to buy an NFT with, then you can do that, opening up some more use cases for meme coins instead of just trading them. But that's the demo of the product.
I like it, man. Great demo. Appreciate you walking that through. Um, yeah, I mean, you make it like you said, peer to peer, but there's personal items, loans, personal bets, NFTs, like being able to swap that pretty easily. I mean, that's really efficient. My one question for you is on the my swaps um while the swap is going through, do you get a notification or anything if it does go through, or do I need to kind of go back in and check has it gone through, and have I received it yet?
And so we have a notification button up here that kind of gives
Mhm.
you a highlight.
Nice.
What we eventually will connect is email or social media.
Hmm.
And so that'll be our open to then emailing people and verifying that their trade is completed. Um, or even, maybe we go as far as like messaging them through social media. I don't know. There's a lot of kind of use cases when you start including social media stuff.
Hmm.
Uh, like when we create an open trade in the future, what we're working on now is when we complete this, we can then post it to Twitter or Warpcast.
Hmm.
Warpcast will create a frame so people can complete the trade in it. Twitter will just show a link to the trade on the website so that people can go in directly and complete that trade. Um, so I think you're starting to see kind of a lot of use cases we'll be creating, but what really right now it's the notification and email soon.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that'd be super beneficial. Just like to see the right, just visually right on whether it's on socials or on email and receiving that email. Yeah, that'd be great. And it was also really good just to see how easy it was on the smart wallet side. Easy for you to set up, easy for you to sign in, easy to just kind of connect, easy to accept the offer. So just even like really expediting that process. It was cool to see how this being implemented right here, just to see it live. That definitely helped me out.
Yeah, I love the smart wallet. What our next challenge is trying to figure out how to get it funded quickly and allow people just to seamlessly complete a trade.
Mm,
So I know through like Third Web and some other connections out there, or maybe even through Coinbase, haven't dived into that yet. But you can purchase with credit card. So we're thinking a payment flow could be you log in, create a smart contract or a smart wallet, and then you just pay with credit card, and it sends it to the smart wallet. Then you can do whatever you want with that asset, whether you
mhm.
transfer it somewhere or whatnot. But then I think through transferring it places, I'm gonna have to find a way to, yeah, I would have to figure out how to send an NFT through this wallet to another wallet. And I think I might have to do that through like the UI. So there are certain things that are like needing to be worked around and to figure out, but that's why I like this space so much because it's not all figured out and it's kind of just a bunch of challenges to solve for.
No, I couldn't agree more. It's early. It's early innings. It's cutting edge stuff. We're we're actively even building on our end, trying to continue to like innovate and see how we can add more features or make sure things aren't breaking down and things are running as smoothly as possible to even yeah, try and figure that out, try and get that end result because yeah, we're still trying to find the answers ourselves. We saw how it worked for us, and we're trying to see how we can make that work for yourself and anyone else that's also building. So that's really good to hear. That's really good to hear. I think yeah, that's great, man. And I also like the just the ability as well to reduce the swap up fees. That's a big thing because just in the past it's been or whether it's gas fees on gas fees other places, these things can ramp up. So cool you guys have that feature.
Um, and I see Josh's ends question.
Yep.
Yes. So what we're doing currently, since we created subdomains, we are implementing the resolver so that we can resolve DNS names or CBIDs if they're on the resolver and connected to them. So that is going to be a huge part of our functionality, and we're figuring out like what that actually looks like in the development wise. But I believe that ENS, any of these naming services, have created such an awesome solution for making wallets more easily accessible, and I want to use that to its 100% as much as I can. So, like our idea here is that a subdomain is minted, joshn.swapup.eth. Any wallet connected to it, you should be able yourself to search that and transfer to it and from using our platform, but also other people should be able to find you and say, oh, and when we go multi-chain, I want to send them an asset on Base, or I want to send them an asset on Optimism, and it's just all pulled through your subdomain like it's supposed to be. Um, so that's kind of the route we're going and where we want to enhance that portion of our platform. So, good question.
Great, great question. Looks like there's another one. Want to take that, Taryn?
Yeah. So whenever you create, so for private party or private market trade, we do not have an expiry because most of the time you would know the other person you're doing a private party with. If you're just randomly sending 35 Ethereum for, a top digit or whatever ENS you want, or maybe a Bored Ape, then, you could just send it to their wallet. What we're doing for the private party is we're putting it on chain, the offer, or at least the information. So we're also looking at how do we get that offer to the user without needing to message them. Um, there's a lot of cool things that can be done there. So as long as we're putting it on chain, we can deliver that to them either via their wallet or something. Must be nice. But yeah, great question. But for open market, there is an expiry date. You can't just have it out there forever.
Yeah, randomly
I
sending
mean, I
35 ETH.
see. Yeah, I see these people post on Twitter all the time. Oh, just randomly received 2 Ethereum from a random address. I'm like, oh, why is mine not that one
Right,
off?
right. Like, does my wallet address need to be sent to this person? Like, what's going on here? Nice, good stuff. Last question from Josh. Taryn, take it away.
Yeah, that's correct. So, you know, through development, our whole point, since we did it through the build-a-thon, we want to do it on base Sepolia, and you can see top right what the chain is. Um, but then once we get code good, put it on base, then easily it open up to Ethereum. I think since it's all EVM, it's like very easy to kind of add another network as long as it's EVM because all the code is kind of the same. So that's the plan and process we'll be doing from there. So base straight to Ethereum because that was our original MVP, and then Optimism and Polygon because those are like super chain type stuff, and we think it's a lot of grant opportunities is also why we're adding some of these chains.
Juicy has a question.
Uh,
You're reading that one.
yeah. What should you do if you just started with crypto and don't know much about it and trying to use what you see you have and how to receive it. So I think this is part of the challenge for crypto, and this is where we really need to think about when we open up the next version of our functionality, which is like in real life items. So, the person that's buying shoes, collector's shoes from a third party or another person might not know about crypto. I think the challenge is for us is to not let them know that they're operating in the crypto world. Like, if we just had a simple on ramp from credit card to wallet or credit card to pay the person if he wants to receive Ethereum or USDC or whatever, have that conversion happen. Seller receives USDC and then he ships item. Buyer receives, confirms he receives, money is sent, whatever. There's a escrow solution in there. That's our challenge. That's what we're trying to solve for is how do we make it less crypto while using crypto? And I think that the way we're going to do it is through these extensions. So Third Web, if you didn't know, has a license to allow users in the US to buy crypto or whatever with a credit card. So they can use, if someone signed in with Third Web, then they could use credit card to purchase the asset that people are selling. So then it would be put in their wallet. Let's take it from another standpoint. If a person is selling Ethereum on the platform, it's not an NFT, it's actually tokens. Maybe to your point, Juicy Baby. You could use credit cards to purchase that Ethereum and receive it. So, maybe people would go and on ramp through Coinbase and they don't really know how to do that yet. But that's part of the issues that's the blockchain is having now is that we're so segregated. There's so many different silos that I just need to close the gap as much as I can from my viewpoint. So, unfortunately, there's like tons, or fortunately, maybe there's like tons of ramps onto chain. There's none that I haven't seen a app use it well enough to on ramp and get them their asset that they wanted immediately. So we are trying to do that. So maybe in the future, to your point, you would come into our application, go to the open market, see someone selling Ethereum. You want Ethereum, all you have is a credit card. You would pay for it and receive it that way. Great questions.
Good questions. Good questions. And also good monkeyfi.io. Good finishing advice. Definitely educate yourself on all the terms and whistles so you're familiar with how the space moves. Very important in this space. But with that being said, appreciate Taryn answering those questions from the chat. That's super helpful. It's always good just to get a little live Q&A going. So that's
Yeah.
good. But we're at about 30 minutes. Want to just carve out about 15 minutes just to ask you some questions that we put together here, and yeah, we'll go from there. So let me share my screen back up. Let's see. Go. Thanks for that. Okay. All right. I like it. That's good. First of all, I also didn't know that Coinbase on-chain summer, this jump started this, SwapUp.eth a little bit with the build-a-thon. Like I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Yeah, it kind of got us back into like starting the fire
Mm,
and
mm,
continuing to build more. So I think it's crazy when you put yourself in a room or in a space full of other builders
mhm.
and you're seeing what people are building. And I've always been a competitor and I've always wanted to like further improve SwapUp from what it originally was. And I
Right.
think all that atmosphere just kind of pushed us forward for it
Yeah.
all.
Yeah, that's exciting. That's exciting. I know that's something we did last year. It's going on now, like this to really just really build that out. So it's always good to hear the stories that are helping, yeah, inspire just being around like other builders, and it's kind of like that proximity, kind of standing next to stand next to somebody that's also building and working on something, and you just kind of when you're in that environment, you can get the juices flowing. So that's good stuff. Um, you s- you said you said to kind of sound like kind of refired up the engines. Was this already an idea? I'm curious as to the overall kind of what inspired the creation of Swap Up. You said you have about 5 people you're building it out with, and yeah, I'm curious about that.
Um, yeah, so I was gonna show our original prototype.
Okay, yeah, let's do it. Mhm.
But it was an original idea, like about so I would say it all kind of started um, about 3 years ago. So I originally got into crypto and NFTs in 2020.
Mhm.
Hit some crazy, as we were talking about earlier, some crazy mints,
Mhm.
Mechaverse, some of the early ones that were just like went crazy,
Mhm.
8, 10 Ethereum when Ethereum was 4 grand
Oh
per
yeah,
NFT. So,
that's awesome.
but when I joined, there were too many scams that were happening. Like
Mhm.
everybody was getting scammed. They were being sent to fake trade sites, and so I just wanted to be a source out there that was a true and non. I'm not trying to scam source. I just want to provide a safe and secure. So we're actually looking at the prototype of what we created a year ago, and um, this was the first thing we created, and it's very simple. Uh, Very straightforward, and it was just the ability to trade some assets be done from here, and that's why we're creating round two, because we want to. Wow, I don't even know if it's ready to connect. I think I have to do this manually. Yeah, I need to. Um, we can skip this. So I don't even have the click to skip it. But this is what we originally started with, and it was just the ability to swap NFTs. So if I had logged in, I'd put my wallet address there, or um, put another wallet address here, and I'd be able to select assets. But now we've come to something completely different. It's kind of crazy the way we've changed this and viewed it as something different, now creating more of a market than just a peer-to-peer type solution for private trades. Um,
Mhm. I'm curious. Can people in the chat can they see the screen? Can they see what Taryn is showing? Is it visual? Yep. Okay, Josh can see it. Okay, yes, got it. Alexander the Wolf. Welcome, welcome. Okay. All right. Just wanted to check in.
I know I was getting some kind of reduced video or audio thing as well. So
Mhm. Yeah, okay, but
um,
this is V1. This is or we're just showing V1 there.
this is
Yeah,
V1.
yeah.
We're in V2 now.
Yeah, nice. I like it. Sleek, a bit more features. Yeah, no, this is great.
Yeah, more
Yeah.
APIs.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks,
All
Monkey.
right.
Yeah, so
Right,
more
right.
APIs like wallet connections and those APIs. It's very crazy. Blockchain is all APIs, so it's just connecting the right ones.
That's awesome. You're frozen right now. If you just refreshed your camera and to make sure it can not be frozen. Oh, it was just frozen. Hmm. Yeah, that's a good question as well. How's the mobile experience, Taryn?
Yeah, mobile is an interesting topic. It works. So we do have mobile. So I'm more of the functional person. I'm the founder, so like I'm just the ideator here. And I know a lot about blockchain technology and kind of how it works, but like mobile enabling these websites has also been part of the revamp of the V2. Um, So you can make a trade, you can make a swap, and all the functionality that you see on here is on mobile. Now, relative to like user experience and things that happen there, we still want feedback on that. So I would more than welcome any type of feedback. It's funny when you have a project in the blockchain space, like developers coming out of the woodwork. Um, and they're all wanting to help and work. And so I think what we're starting to create is like if you want to help with any experience or give any viewpoints or share any bugs, then that's more than you're more than welcome to do it. Um, and bring those forward. And if it's a legit bug, then we will pay you for it. Or if you bring out some real items that could be improved, then maybe you could be a part of the team. So I think that's how we're doing and really analyzing if other developers should come on board is just putting them in front. All our code is public. Um, I think it's SwapUp.eth in GitHub, and so everything you can see is available out there to review.
I like that. If you're a developer, you're bringing value, you're solving problems, bringing solutions, then hey, how can you sounds like how can you collaborate with that developer and continue that progress, it sounds like.
Yeah, the space is like all about like ideating and new ideas and pushing the limits.
Hmm.
So if there's ever like top talent out there that wants to be involved or wants to build with us or then I try to find a way to get them involved and get them paid in any way possible, because there's just tons of talent out there that either use the money or an opportunity.
Yeah, there we go. I think that's a great tactic, especially as a founder, just trying to whether it's building culture, keep on moving forward, just keep on putting one foot in front of the other, and also just finding the right people that are gonna push the mission along. So that's a great.
Mhm.
Um, I'm curious, how did you first hear about Coinbase developer products? Obviously, being Coinbase being a huge player in the space, but even on-chain Summer, and what made you to decide to use them and even go with Smart Wallet?
Yeah, so I think it was through, like, so it's definitely through Warpcast. Like,
Hmm.
that is like a crypto native
Hmm.
application. Um, and then I kept hearing people talk about Jesse Pollock and everything he was doing over there and what they were pushing, and then eventually just saw this like build-a-thon on Chain Summer. And we were in the middle of like revamping the designs, and I said, well, we need to go for this. Um, so we kind of signed up for it. And then once that happened, we were dedicated to building on Base and Base Depolia. And then part of the challenges or I guess you say challenges they gave us was use Smart Wallet or use the app kit or use those other things that are available. Um, and so we kind of just dove straight into it. I said, here's a list of items that we should be building on the app and using to
Hmm.
maximize the type of return or the wins or prizes we get from this competition. Um, and we just kinda went full throttle into using Smart Wallet, now looking at Paymaster and all the app kit stuff out there, how we can further enhance it, uh, relative to bringing people on chain and off. So, I think it was really just the build-a-thon pushing us to use new technology we've never used before.
Yeah. Man, that's good to hear. It sounds like, and you mentioned this before. You love to compete and love to. It sounds like just being in an environment where you could be in a build-a-thon and be in that environment where there's a ton of people building a bunch of amazing stuff. And um, yeah, that's a great attitude. I'm glad that all worked out and then that it's working out. And even like you said, whether it's a future product you use with Paymaster, next week we're gonna have the product managers and as well as engineers that are helping build out Paymaster, the product,
Mhm.
next Wednesday. And then even tomorrow, our engineers that are building out Smart Wallet, they're going to be on our product driven event tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern. So if either of those can help you out or someone in the audience, definitely please join.
Yeah,
Um,
I think I said earlier, I'm so functional.
mm,
Like, I know how to, like, develop the processes or, ideate on these things. Every
mhm.
time I get a chance to listen to someone who knows more about the code or what the use cases are there, I pick their brain all the time because I need that, you know?
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, especially to be functional, to be practical, to like take those action items and then use them in your own business. Like you want to learn from the people that are really building this thing out. So I feel you've done a great job at that. really what led us right here to even highlighting SwapUp. You know, you doing that on other platforms and other events that we've held. So it's really good stuff. If And there could be a couple things you could maybe add to Smart Wallet of, and like if this feature was there, this would make it even that much more efficient for our users, or if there are anything, whether it's with Paymaster, if when you've looked into it, if there are things that come up with Paymaster, okay, there's this functionality, but if it could do, add this feature, that would really be helpful. Is there anything that comes to mind there of just kind of off the top of your head that would benefit you more from our products that you've seen?
I think for us, we're all about, like I was saying earlier, quickly onboarding and on-ramping.
Mhm,
Like, the fact that someone can create a wallet is good. That gets them in the ecosystem. I think there's a lot of education between that wallet being created, what just happened there, how do I then use that and buy things in the real world?
mhm,
Um, So I don't know if I need to explore more what those look like from funding that wallet to buying something immediately within like 30 seconds.
mhm,
But I would say anything that creates that on-ramp, the onboarding, and then the management of those accounts that I could put or use in my UI for people's profiles, then
mhm,
that would be the functionality that I'd be looking for. Because
mhm,
if I create a smart wallet, then I log out. I can create another smart wallet.
mhm,
I can keep going and create 5 or 6 different smart wallets. How would I know that that one person is connected to all 5 of those wallets?
mhm,
So I'm trying to figure out, like, how I create a user profile from all that. Maybe there's a way to track wallet has been created by someone,
mhm,
but that's kinda where the subdomain's coming into play. I'm hoping that they would connect them all, um, and then quickly onboarding and off I guess on-ramp and off-ramping them from our application, um, because, I guess if they create a smart wallet, that I guess I'm not sure how it connects to Coinbase, the marketplace, like, where you can buy tokens and stuff. I know it's part of an overall list of wallets, but then quickly going from that wallet to your bank account or bank account to that wallet, purchase, and then off-ramp again. I think are all the things we're trying to solve for. So I either need to do more research on like how that works through our platform, or those are the attributes that I'm looking for relative to a smart wallet.
yeah. And I'm curious for do you want it do you want the user to be able to see all of their wallets that they've created, like those 5 wallets, or is it more so you want to be able to see that okay, this person has generated 5 wallets on your end?
I think it's from both probably because someone could be creating smart wallets not knowing what they're doing. I could assume someone would make a smart wallet just to test it out and be like, okay, well now I don't know what to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if they created multiple smart wallets through my application, it would be nice to see that they originally created that smart wallet through my application
Mm-hmm.
or, like, through that connection. So they
Mm-hmm.
could be like, "Oh, yeah, I was using SwapUp, and they had me intro into and I created a wallet there, and it's this wallet, and it's, somehow visible and connected." I
Mm-hmm.
think that'd be cool. That would be valuable for, like, the end user and for me so I could capture who's creating what on my site.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, good for the end user and for yourself of okay, did they go to they created a wallet, but did they create it on your platform? They have 5 wallets and yeah, to see where it was created. I like that.
'Cause I could assume that, like, when we get into in real life stuff, we have a user come in who's new, never used crypto, creates a smart wallet, buys their item, and then they ship that item. Um, so what we're gonna do in the in real life items, we're gonna create an NFT for every item that's sold, so that they can have a digital version, and it could be like a history of whatever unique assets it has. So let's say it's shoes. Someone lists the shoes. We create an NFT that says, and when they listed it, it says the unique item is this is number 4,
Mm-hmm.
and that's trackable. That's put on the NFT, and then
Mm-hmm.
that NFT would be transferred to that smart wallet, whoever bought it. Now that person could forget that smart wallet or whatever, maybe not even come back to it because it was just created just on my app. Um, but so they would have to wanna track that and find that somewhere and be able to know that that's still in there. So, I think there's just a lot of connectivity maybe needs to go there, thinking through what that process looks like.
Yeah, that's super helpful. That's super helpful. I know we're coming up right on time here. I've got a few more questions for you, and then we'll
Yeah.
shut it down. But I'm curious, what feedback do you like? How do you get feedback, right? 'Cause we're hosting these events, trying to get feedback from yourself, from other developers. Is there a way that you get feedback, and how does that play in shaping the product and service offerings that SwapUp can deliver on?
Yeah. I mean, it definitely changes it. So, I think most of the way I'm getting feedback is just seeking it out, like asking people in my Discord to test it out and offering prizes, or even through like Warpcast. I think if you post, "Hey, this is testnet base or on base, wanna test it,"
Mm-hmm.
let us know your feedback, even from an overall perspective. I get feedback that way. Also, when looking at designers um, for the website and for future enhancements, they tend to give reviews on like what would look good, where and when. That's more helpful for like some improvement, but if I align with their design ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then through the build-a-thons, so I have kind of taken a new approach to build-a-thons, and I'm just entering a lot of them and then using the, technology that they're promoting on that build-a-thon or whatever goals they're promoting to that's where our enhancements or changes are gonna be. Often in there, there's mentors, like, just readily available mentors. So I have set up, I think, 6 different meetings with this one build-a-thon of all the mentors from marketing to, VC,
Mm-hmm.
research partner. And I've just been asking them along the way, how's the website? Is it usable for you? Are there any improvements? And I've gotten a lot of great ones I don't think about, like
Yeah.
on this main website, my button, for me it makes sense, but my button says go to DApp.
Mm-hmm.
And then someone brought up like maybe not everybody knows what a DApp is. Now
Mm-hmm.
thinking about like in real life items and bringing people on chain that never been on chain, they definitely wouldn't know what a DApp is. So changing that to start trading is like such a simple improvement, but 100% welcome feedback to help
Mm-hmm.
me further improve just universal acceptance of what it looks like. So I get feedback from everywhere. I'm a person who appreciates it. I want to fail and fail quickly
Mm-hmm.
um, so that I can improve and make a better solution. So I ask for it all the time, anybody who's involved in it.
Yeah, I like that. I in a previous life, I used to play professional sports, and one of my coaches always used to say, "Feedback is a gift," and just like even the power of mentorship, right? Whether it's from
Mm.
marketing, from VC, from an engineer, from a designer. If someone that has already done this, maybe they built out, 10 dApps and they've been successful. They can tell you, Taryn, right? Hey, look, I see what you're trying to do, but this is the short version. Like let's go this way because of through their own trials, tribulations, they're trying to make sure that you don't, maybe fall in the same gap that they did, right? So you can get that result faster, right? And then also just kind of fail fast, fail fast. You find out quicker on what you're looking for and what you're trying to get to. So I like it. And that's a good approach. Good approach on the build-a-thons.
Yeah.
Um, a couple of the last question here. I'm curious, just if you had any advice to other people that are building startups, building out projects, also people that are considering using Coinbase developer products, I'm just curious if you could just share a little bit just about your journey, just what you could tell someone that's building, right? We saw your version one, we saw the MVP. Now we've seen the version two. You just shared good advice about even going out and just going out seeking feedback. So I'm just curious if you could leave the audience with any piece of advice.
Um, let's see. So I know not everybody has the same personality. A lot of people are more analytical in the development space. They want to get it right before they release it, maybe, or I want it to be too perfect. I would say really just go for it. Build what you can and then get it out there as quickly as possible. Get feedback as quickly as possible. One thing I have heard lately is that in this space, there's just so many solutions. Being a more niche solution is probably a good opportunity to be building for. So, I would also suggest maybe that's something that people should look at instead of building. I think maybe with SwapUp, what we were doing is starting with kind of the easy solution, the one we know, the blockchain digital assets, and then advancing into other things. I do see a world where we could have started with some more of the niche solutions and maybe could have gone that route, but I don't want to regret anything we've done so far because I like what we've built. Um, and then I I think one of my and then hiring the right people. I think that's the biggest thing
Mm.
because I know we can't all do it ourselves. I know I can't code to save my life, but I think that hiring the right people who have the right experience is going to be very important when building an app um, that have Web3 experience too. You will save so much time because I used to think that I could just go to a Web2 agency and say, "Hey, build me a Web3 application." But it's not possible because they don't know all the connection opportunities, the where the blockchain comes into it. So I would say hire for the right thing, for the people who know exactly what you're trying to build um and not for best price. Sometimes you got to pay a little bit more to get the right builders on your team.
Mhm. Yeah, that's good feedback. Sounds like if you have an idea, go for it. Go take that step. Fail fast. Hire the right people. Hire the right people that also have that Web3 experience. Prior to this,
Mm,
at Coinbase, myself, Carrie, we were at a startup before, and I feel one of the that got acquired by Coinbase. And one of the biggest things that I realized there was just even the culture that they built of bringing in the right people, bringing in people that had a certain expertise, and also that was aligned and also had like the determination and the persistence to just really keep on going with the mission of the company. So I feel like that's what you're building at SwapUp, and sounds like you're on your way, man. Definitely keep on using all those tactics to move forward. Some things I can definitely use in my own life as well. So good stuff. I appreciate you sharing.
yeah, of course. Thanks for all your great questions, allowing me to demo, and the audience for being here. Um, like I said earlier, we are starting our subdomain process and trying to test that out and make sure it's working well. So if you all want to send me a DM and want a free subdomain, I'm more than happy to give it to you for listening in and supporting the application. So that should go out soon. The functionality. So if you want one, reach out. A lot of great features on our site. Um, Happy to give that to you.
Nice. I like that. I like that. Let's see. Intel ETH, Cohang, Josh, Official, Monkey.fi.io, James, Amalia, Russell, Alexander, No to go. Definitely take Aaron up on that, and I definitely appreciate you guys sticking around. That brings us to the end of the discussion. Thank you, Terin. It's been a pleasure having you. Um, Awesome. Appreciate you just taking advantage of the opportunity as well. To the audience, if you have any additional questions for Terin, like you mentioned, DM him, reach out. If you're a developer that has good insight, it can bring value. Definitely help them out there as well. And yeah, please feel free to fill out that form as well if you wanted us to spotlight and just really highlight what you're building. This is something we want to do moving forward. So thank you everyone for joining. We look forward to seeing you at our next CDP event, which will be tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern. It's a Coinbase event for, like I said, our engineers who are building out a smart wallet product. So don't miss that opportunity. And yeah, Taryn, any last words before we head out?
No, thank you all so much. Have a great day.